What's up, guys? My name is Ashley Horner. I am here doing the Reborn podcast with my friend Lena, who is also one of the baristas here at American Brew, bartenders, baristas. And we have a really special guest on today, Dara Torres. And she has an amazing Reborn story. She is one of the most decorated Olympians of all times. And her sport was swimming. And we're going to have her on in just a little bit. The farthest I've swam, it took me a month, but I swam 300 miles.
Jeez. I don't know how to swim. I can doggy paddle. My mom had like a major fear of pools or anything dangerous growing up. So me and my sisters doggy paddle.
But aren't you from Virginia Beach?
New York.
A
little closer.
You can move it towards you.
Yeah. We're from New York, but basically grew up in VB. And I still don't know how to swim. No, I never go further than waist deep in the ocean because my ass is going to get taken out.
We have to. So I guess whenever we have that beach day at American Brew, we're going to have to make sure you bring your floaties.
Yeah, I want my water wings.
Or maybe you can borrow Otto's life jacket.
I probably could fit. I think your son's bigger than me.
But you did, and you do have a background in like rowing though.
Yeah, I did row. And we had a swim test that we had to do.
So you do swim.
I cheated.
How did you
I was like, I knew they needed me more than I needed them. So I floated. We had to tread water for 10 minutes and I floated for like majority of that time.
How can you cheat? How can you cheat the treading water?
You had to tread water.
But how could you float?
Oh, I was just floating on my back the entire time. I was like, I'm going to take it real easy. I promise you I won't drown if I actually fall out of a boat, but I'm just going to.
What school was this for?
First Colonial in VB.
Here in Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
Shout out
FC
school.
Rowers. I miss you guys.
And that's here in Virginia Beach.
Good times.
So, but you actually, where does the rowing team compete out? Out here?
So we go all around the state. Actually, we were very lucky. We went to nationals a few times, which varies from place to place. 1 year was in Philly, 1 year was in Jersey. But a lot of the actual teams in Virginia Beach, I think there's 7 or 8 in Hampton Roads. We would go to Norfolk Botanical Gardens, and they have a little, I don't know what to call it. Maybe
a creek?
It's a little bit bigger than a pond.
Huh.
Maybe a canal.
I've been out there. I haven't seen there.
It's pretty. Yeah. And
that's where they do the lights every year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You actually pass
over by the airport.
Yeah. You pass the body of water that we row in, and it's a 2,000 meter sprint. So I did rowing, I did coxing, I did it all.
Coxing?
Coxing.
What is coxing?
Coxing is when you are basically captain of the boat. Everyone likes to say,
"Oh, so you're the captain."
They're like, "Oh, you just say
you
row,
should just come
right?"
out and be like, "I was the captain."
Yeah,
I led the whole. Whole
basically,
boat.
I carried the team on my back while they were rowing. I was doing my part. Yeah, so it was fun. It's a cool sport.
How long ago were you rowing?
2015 through not 2015. 2011 through 2015.
Is rowing in the Olympics?
Rowing is in the Olympics, yeah.
That's
There's
cool.
men's, females. Actually, more females qualify for rowing scholarships than males.
Wow, why is that?
It's just because so many male athletes...
Is it more popular with...
Well, male athletes get most of the scholarships for, football, baseball, all those, the normal sports, and there's crew. And so women's is very popular throughout the country. So they give out a lot of athletic scholarships to women for rowing. ODU had a...
Did you continue your rowing career?
I tried to. And then I got to college, and I was really done with waking up at 4:30 in the morning.
Rowing's in the morning.
Yeah.
Usually swimming is too.
Yeah.
It's an early morning sport.
I was like, you know what? I had a good run. It's just too cold. I'm too old.
Do you think that you were burnt out?
I was a little burnt out.
Yeah.
It consumed my life. It was, we had...
Especially if you're at the level of competing that you were at.
Yeah, I mean, we had practice every day, and then every Saturday, every Sunday, we were either traveling or, had to fix the boats. There was always something.
Yeah.
And I just kind of, when I got to college, I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to, figure out what did I want to do. And, it was a great part of my life. I have great memories. I'm still friends with my teammates, but...
Do you regret quitting? Going to college?
A little bit.
Yeah.
sometimes I'll see like the Olympics or there's that random day I'll see like a video on Instagram of rowing.
Did you ever think that, like, did you ever aspire to be in the Olympics with rowing, or was that just like you weren't really thinking about that?
I did. At one point I thought, okay, maybe I should go for a scholarship. And I really, really thought hard and long about it. And I was like, that's a big commitment.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, let's start out with club.
Yeah.
Because you can always move your way up. You can't, I feel like you can't go backwards.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'll just try club, which is, it's not as competitive. But
So how old were you, though? Did you do sports before that?
I played softball for 10 years.
Okay.
And then my dad's
That's
like,
interesting. Then you went from softball to...
my dad's idea, he's like, hey, you could probably get a better scholarship doing crew. So join the crew team. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad he made me.
Yeah.
So, and it was co-ed, which was fun, being a teenager and being like, ooh, boys. Right.
So it's tradition that every time we start our podcast, we have to do a shot. But I want you to tell the story of when how long have you been working here at the brew?
Oh my God, 4 months? No,
it's been long.
No, April.
It's like, I mean,
What's
it
the
has
math
to
on
be
that?
going on like a half year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 5-6 months.
Yeah, to the point where Lena recently got a promotion into like the leadership part of American Brew.
Thanks, Ashley.
Stepping it
for
up a
believing
little
in me.
bit. But you
Trying.
have to tell the story of like when you first started working here. So it was in April.
Was
this right before COVID happened?
No, this
or?
was during pandemic. This was mid-pandemic.
Okay, all right.
Well, I
So
guess
you
we're still
came
in
onto
it.
the team mid-pandemic.
Yeah.
So when most companies and restaurants were closing down, shutting down, we were actually hiring.
I was bored, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I like coffee.
Right, I'll come get a job.
So I literally came up one day. I was like, oh, let's try this place. I always pass it. And then Liz, my manager, great girl, love her. I was like, hey, are you guys hiring? She's like, I think so. I was like, all right, send that application. And then another one of my coworkers I went to college with who actually worked here already, so she kind of hooked me up. But when I first met Ashley, I was actually terrified. I was terrified of her. I was like, this woman's going to beat my ass. She's going to hate me. I'm just like this clown. She seems like she's serious business all the time. So I was like walking on eggshells around her for about maybe like 2 weeks.
I don't even remember I don't remember our first interaction. Do
I
you?
was signing like my W2 or something.
Yeah.
And you're like just sitting at the bar. There was like dogs everywhere. And she's like, here's this, sign it. I was like, okay. So I just sat and very quietly just did my work. And then I realized 3 weeks later she's weird. And then we could be friends. So it worked out.
It's been good. We have a really good team.
Yeah,
here
we do.
At American
I'm very
Brew.
thankful for my coworkers.
So we're gonna make a toast. You get to
Okay.
pick what we're gonna toast to.
Oh God, no. Okay.
What is it? It's Friday.
Friday.
I think just like the longevity, bringing on our guest,
Yeah.
the longevity of, and it's never too late to start. I
Yeah.
don't think and even we were just having a conversation about how I wanted to compete and, doing BJJ and wanting to maybe someday aspire to get into MMA. And it's easy to ask yourself the question or to think that are you too old?
I don't think that's a thing.
To start.
I think it's a mindset.
It is a
they always
mindset.
say age is a mindset, and I truly believe that.
Yeah.
Because I know 50-year-olds who are living their best life, and I know
And you
20-year-olds.
just started getting into fitness again.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Recently.
I drink protein powder now.
There you go. You drink protein powder.
Pre-workout.
That's when you know she's a novice
It's
and she's
legit.
getting into it. See, everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah.
Everybody starts somewhere.
You have to. I was
Elena's
like,
drinking protein powder. So let's do a toast to, I think longevity is good.
I think so too. I think
Longevity is
that's a
good,
great
and you're never too old to start and to make a statement, to make a legacy for yourself. Just like Lena drinking protein powder for the first time, or we have Dara who started her career, she stopped, and then she came back for a comeback
thing. Full force.
Yeah, full force.
She had a baby.
And
she won more medals.
Wrecked havoc. So here's a cheers to that.
To longevity.
Longevity.
Ching ching.
Ching, ching. Bird dog peach.
It's like candy.
Ooh.
So good.
So today's whiskey is the Bird Dog Peach flavored whiskey. And we don't have just the peach. Don't we have like bird dog, apple down there?
Yeah, no, I think it's blackberry. That one's really good.
I actually have not tried the blackberry. So I'm really excited to welcome on Dara Torres, and this is my conversation with her. I know that you're going to enjoy it. I hope that you are inspired and motivated and realize that age is just a number. And I hope this encourages you, if you have not yet started your fitness journey, regardless of the age you are at. Welcome on Dara Torres. So you are absolutely incredible.
Oh,
So
thank you.
where are you located?
I'm in Florida, Delray Beach.
You are in Florida.
Yeah.
So it is so inspiring what you have done. Can you talk a little bit about that? You did the Olympics early on. You paused and you had a family. And you came back. I just want to get into your mind of what was it because people doubted you? Was it because people were like, no, you can't be fit after you become a mom, and this stigma? Because I have 3 boys, all C-sections.
You look great.
Thank you. Like, so do you. And I just want to know, like, what is it that goes on in the mind when you had this career? The Olympics and swimming, you push pause, you had a baby. And I mean, what I want to know, like, what was it that drove you to be like, hell no, I am coming after every single one of you, and you better have a seat because I will be the last one standing. What was that?
Well, I love how you say take a pause. I actually had retired. When I retired, the number of times that I did, even though it seems kind of funny that I say number of times, but I literally retired 3 different times. I thought I was done. Like, that was it. I was done, no more. I can't stay on the water. The thing about swimmers is when you're at a point in your career where you feel like you don't need to prove any yourself anymore. Mm-hmm. You're just kind of tired of it. You either retire and then maybe continue on with a little bit of like masters, or you retire and you hate it. And that's pretty much the way I was all 3 times. And so after my 4th Olympic Games, I had retired from 92 to 99 for 7 years. And then I came back and swam in 2000. And that was probably my best Olympics that I had at 33. And then I was done. I'm like, all right, I basically put my job on hold, or actually I just stopped my job. And when I came back after I swam in those Olympic Games, there wasn't really a lot of work for me. It's just what I've been doing. More young up and comers, prettier women were taking those jobs. And so I did a little bit of TV work. I started doing a lot of motivational talks. And then when I got pregnant with my daughter, I was one of those people that, okay, I'm not going to use pregnancy as an excuse not to work out and not to stay in shape. And judging by how you look, you probably were the same way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so, but every time.
And in fact, like that actually was the number one reason that drove me to be in the best shape of my life, because there were so many women and other people that were like, all right, well, say goodbye to your body and like, the discipline that you had. And I remember thinking like, no, like this is literally just the beginning for me.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was going to the gym to work out, and literally within my first 7 weeks of my pregnancy, I was sick all the time. And I don't think people appreciated me being on the exercise equipment, running to the bathroom, throwing up, or not even making it to the bathroom and throwing up. So I kept, as I sat home on the couch, I thought, God, what am I going to do? And then I didn't know, a light bulb went off. I'm like, oh my God, I can go swim. I get sick, I throw up in the gutter, keep going, no one knows, and it's not a big deal, and I'll be in shape. And so that was about 5 years after I retired from 2000. I literally did it just to get some exercise in and just so I'd have a healthy pregnancy and just to kind of stay in shape so it wouldn't be as hard to get back into shape after I had my daughter. And so I joined a master's team because I've been coached my whole life, like to go to a pool and figure out what to do. I mean, I can do that, but then you kind of get in this repetitive mode. So I joined a master's team and started swimming. And about a week before I was supposed to deliver, I had a planned date for my delivery, just because of some other medical issues. And the head coach, not the master's coach, but the head coach of the club where I was swimming, came up to me and said, "Hey, Dara, we have a meet in a month, so 3 weeks after you deliver. Do you think you're going to ask your doctor if you can swim in it?" And I looked at him, and I'm looking at my 9-month belly, and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh my God, this is such a guy thing to ask. Like, I'm sure my doctor's going to look at me and be like, what the F? No, So I never asked him. And I went to the hospital a week later. I had my daughter. And as my doctor was leaving, I grabbed his lab coat and I said, "Hey, Dr. Zaffron, I have a swim meet in 3 weeks." Because I don't know, somehow I had my daughter. I was so happy. I finally had a child at 39. And then I'm like, wait, maybe I can swim in this meet. Like, that's like what was going on in my head. So I grabbed his lab coat. I said, "Hey, I have a meet in 3 weeks. You don't mind if I swim in it, do you?" He's like, "Dara," he said, "you can go to the gym tomorrow," which I doubt you'll want to do, "but you can't do anything aerobic for 6 weeks. And I'm like, all right, So I waited about a week and a half, and just to get my body sort of back a little bit. And I started going to the gym, got a babysitter, started going to the gym. And literally my first day there, I doing tricep extensions, doing everything standing because, a little sore. And I turn around and I look and I'm like, God, looks like my doctor. And I'm like, oh God, I'm like, was he kidding? Maybe he didn't want me to go to the gym. Maybe he meant everything like 6 weeks. I'm not sure. And so, when you have those ropes in your hand, you can kind of start turning a little bit. It's not a big deal. Then I got the tap on my shoulder and I'm like, "Oh, hey, Dr. Zaffron, how you doing?" And he was like, "I see you're working out." I'm like, "Look, you said I can go to the gym the next day." I waited a week and a half. And so we started talking a little bit. And at the end of the conversation, I don't know if it's the endorphins going from working out, but I basically said to my doctor, "Hey, I have a meet in a week and a half. You don't mind if I swim in it?" And he's like, "Actually, no, go ahead. As long as you take care of yourself and be careful." And I don't know, before he had another word out of his mouth, I was out that door at my house, putting a swimsuit on.
Getting in the pool.
Going to the pool and swimming. And so I never had the intention or thought of ever going back and training for another Olympic team.
Yeah.
And here I am, 39 years old, just had a baby. My boyfriend, who started swimming again too, he had swam in college. He had swum that whole 9 months that I was swimming, and he hadn't swum in so many years. And he said, "Let's go to one more meet, at the end of the summer. And, then you can just do your thing." And I said, "Great." So I went to this meet, and I don't know, somehow I qualified for Olympic trials, did 3 months of training, and didn't mean to, but did. And then all of a sudden, all these people started coming up to me, and they were like, "We want a middle-aged person to represent us in the Olympics." So I'm like, "Great, going, I'll cheer you them on too." And then I realized they're, passive aggressively asking me to do it. And it was just, I think, all of this peer pressure of these middle-aged swimmers wanting someone to represent them in the Olympics. And it's something that no one has ever done before. I guess kind of gave me the fuel. And then I'll never forget, I was trying to find, when I finally made this decision, and I don't know how you are, but once the decision's in my head, that's it, I'm not going back.
I'm exactly the same.
Yeah, I kind of had
exactly the same.
Yeah, I had a little doubt at first, like, well, is my body going to hold up? I'm going to be 41 in the Olympics if I make it. And what's going to happen with my shoulders? I've had shoulder surgery. So I had that thought for a couple of days, and then it was gone. And then I was like, okay, got to get sponsorship. So I'll never forget, I flew up to New York, and I had been on the board to try to get the Olympic Games to New York in 2012. So I had met Mayor Mike Bloomberg there, and he and I kept in touch over the years. And so I thought, God, he'd be a perfect person to go ask to get some sponsorship money from. So I flew up to New York with Tessa, and we were in in Gracie Mansion having lunch. And, I was getting so nervous to ask him, and so nervous. And so finally at the end of dessert, I was like, all right, Dara, it's do or die here. And so I said, hey, Mayor Bloomberg, I'm thinking about making a comeback, and I want to know if you'd sponsor me. And the first words out of his mouth were, "Aren't you too old?" And he kind of laughed. He's a kidder like that. But those words, no, even if he was joking or whatever, that stayed in my head. I said, first of all, I said to him, yes, that's the effing point. That's why I'm doing this. But those words stayed in my head the whole entire time. So those next little under 2 years that I started training for 2008. So for me, whenever, and it's a long stories to your question, but when anyone says something negative, I try to turn it around and use it as fuel and prove how wrong they are. I shouldn't have to prove anything, but it actually lights a fire under me and gets me going even more. So that's what kind of kept me focused. And is those words, aren't you too old?
Yeah. we are in a completely different realm. You and I are very much the exact same person. It's that competitive drive. And I think in the beginning, and I like to tell a lot of people this, that like you might be doing whatever goal that you have for yourself to prove somebody else wrong. And there's nothing wrong with setting those types of goals for yourself to, someone says that you can't do something and, maybe it's a certain type of person, I don't know, but like every fiber and being within me, like I want to prove that person wrong, that you say that I cannot do something. It's like, oh, watch me do it.
Exactly.
Watch me do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's been so many times in my life and challenges that I have faced, and even fitness, business, but you say one word to me, it's almost like a challenge.
Yes, exactly.
It's almost like a challenge. You don't think that I can do it. It's like, watch me.
Exactly.
I will not stop until I achieve this.
Right. And every time someone wrote something negative, or she's too old, or there's no way she must be cheating,
dude.
and she be doing this. I'm like, it's like, just bring it on. It's just making me want to prove it. Even more.
Yeah. You were just hungrier for that. So you trained for 2 years.
I trained a little under 2 years. And
what was the feeling? What was the feeling whenever you hit your first milestone coming back? Were you just like, all right, bitches?
Yeah, it's so the first 7 months, the coach who asked me to swim in that masters meet for him, who ran the swim club, wouldn't let me swim with his kids. He was like, you've done fine swimming with the masters team. I don't know if he didn't think I was serious. I don't know if he thought I was too old.
What kids? Define that. Kids as in...
So kids, the club team. So there was this whole training facility called Coral Springs Aquatic Complex. And they have the club team, and then they have the masters team. And so when I was pregnant, I swam with the masters team. And I thought, okay, if I'm training for Olympic team, and he had a bunch of foreign kids in training for the Olympic team too, like he would let me train with them. And he was like, no, you're doing fine with Chris, the masters coach, go swim with him. And so then like my first meet, I went faster than I've ever gone in my life, like fastest time I've ever done, and faster than any of his kids ever done, or any of those, foreigners that are in training for the Olympic team. And he still, didn't have me on for like 7 months. So I don't know if I had to prove myself, or I never even actually asked him what it was. But again, it was more fuel, like, all right, MF, you don't think that, I can do this? Then let's just bring it on. And so I started swimming like really fast. But I think the hardest milestone for me was realizing that my body at my age couldn't do the things that it did when I was younger. I had the mentality that the more you do in the pool and the more you do in the weight room, the faster you'll be at the meets. Well, my body couldn't do that. And so I tried to do 2 workouts a day like the kids were doing, and I fell flat on my face. Like I couldn't do it. So the biggest obstacle was listening to my body and realizing that I need to do what's best for me, not what's best that everyone else does.
So what would you say, like, give some advice to somebody who's getting, age is like, my mom is a competitive mountain bike racer.
Nice.
She is 68.
Wow.
And yeah, she is like the baddest of the bad. Like she is a badass. And I have this conversation with my mom, like literally age is just a number. Like I think it gets more into our head that we think, oh, like we're in our 30s or we're in our 40s and like we can't do something, Can you, like, what would you say, like if somebody is feeling like that they have reached the age where they can't do that, what is some practical advice that you can give them? Because your Reborn story is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it makes me, I've swam before. I used to be a pretty good swimmer, self-taught, but like, even like hearing you talk, like, I just want to go get in the pool right now. It's really motivating. It is really motivating. I'd look like a fish out of water, but, cause it's been a while, but it's so motivating. So what would you say to somebody? Obviously it doesn't have to be swimming. It can be someone who, maybe they had an athletic backgrounds way back when, and they're wanting, and now we're in COVID and it's just hard. And I feel like it's everything's just kind of hard. It's a little bit more difficult right now. What would you say to somebody who, is right now just asking you, like, how do I start? How do I start at the age that where I feel like I cannot?
I think the hardest thing is that first step of starting and getting through sort of the painful phases that you'll reach if you haven't done it in a while, and knowing what your body is feeling. Like, to me, the way I look at it is, if I feel like I have sore muscles, then I know I'm working them, or then I know that they haven't been worked in a while. And actually in a weird psychological way, that actually makes me feel better when I'm sore, even though my body hurts. I feel better. So I would say, for me personally, I had to take it slow. I couldn't just dive in and start doing, like I just told you, like I couldn't do what the other kids were doing.
Right.
You have to take it slow. You have to listen to your body. I know that, like I said a few minutes ago, the hardest thing for me was realizing that I couldn't train the way I used to when I was younger, but there's a reason for that. And I went faster at 41 than I did when I broke my first American record at 15. My American record at 41 was a second and a half faster.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Just for like one lap. And so it's all about just believing, setting goals. Setting goals is really important, because you know how sometimes you wake up and you're like, oh, Jesus, do I really want to do this again? Like, I'm so tired. But you know that you're never going to reach that end goal if you don't get up and do it. So it's very important to set goals, listen to your body, and just ease into it. That's like my advice.
Have you done anything else besides swimming?
Actually, I played volleyball in high school, but then in college, one of the Olympics ran into a semester, and I was on the 4.5-year plan. So I really did college for 5 years.
Yeah.
And when my eligibility finished in swimming, I tried out in the spring for the volleyball team the next year and made it. So I got to play college volleyball too, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what are some exercises? So I was looking at your Instagram. I either screenshot or I saved some of the exercises that you're doing, because they look crazy with the TRX band that you're doing. What are some exercises, if you could pick 3 of your favorite exercises, what would they be? For let's just say we'll do 2. We'll say 3 of your favorite exercises at home if you don't have a whole lot of equipment, and then we'll say 3 of your favorite exercises if you are actually at a gym.
Okay, so my 3 at home, because I did a video almost every day during COVID. So I was trying to make it easy. I was trying to make it easy for people who don't have equipment, that they can use little chairs and stuff at home to do exercises. So the first one probably would be a wall squat, which is super easy. You just push your back up against the wall, squat down. But then what I would do also is bring my arms up above me and then back down. So you're actually working your core too as you're doing this. Or you can have something in your hand and just kind of rotate so you're not just working one muscle at once, which is a big thing that I learned when I was training in 2008 in the gym and doing strength training, is to use a lot of different muscles at once as you're training, because when you do a sport, you're not using just one muscle, you're using all your muscles. So that was one. The other one I like to do, if you get against a countertop or whatever, and you're kind of at a slant. I mean, you could do these on the ground, but if you're new to doing push-ups, you can get on a counter and do push-ups. Very easy. You can do chest push-ups. You can have your elbows in and do tricep push-ups. Those are very easy to do. And then another easy exercise is dips. Go to an end of a table and just place your hands down and just do dips, and have your legs either bent in at a 90-degree angle where it's a little easier, or straighten your legs all the way out to make it harder with your just heels up and toes up towards the air, and do tricep dips. So those are probably the 3 basic ones that are super easy to do at home. At the gym, I've really enjoyed doing stuff where if you can take socks and be in a push-up position and maybe do stuff with your hands where you're going in and out, or do circles. That not only works your arms, but you're working your core, and you're also
that's really tough.
Yeah, you're also actually working your quads too, because you're tightening your quads as you do it. So that's great exercise. I love doing anything TRX because you're using body weight. Again, I came from old school where the heavier you lift, where I was benching 200 pounds. And I don't even lift weights anymore. And I'm still kind of lean a little bit. So
I feel like you look so good. You were benching 200 pounds?
No, well, back in the day, and when I was
that's crazy. That's good. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, when I was training, I was pretty thick. But I like to do stuff where it's body weight, which is the TRX. You can do so many different exercises on the TRX. And then there's lots of guys, if you go online and you're seeing it sitting there in the gym, just look it up on different TRX exercises. It's very easy to do some fun, innovative exercises that will work like a lot of muscles in your body. And then the last one I like to do, I actually like to put socks on. And this isn't necessarily at the gym, but you can also do this in the TRX. But put socks on, be in the push-up position, and then have your legs straight, but pike your core up towards the ceiling. So you're doing pikes. That's also very hard. Again, working your arms, your legs. I mean, I also like pull-ups, to do pull-ups in the gym and do things on the bar. But I'm very much about body weight and not lifting as much heavy weight, so you can elongate your body and work a lot of different muscles at once.
That's awesome. What's coming up in the future for you? Anything going on in this weird 2020 right now that we're currently in?
It's just, I mean, like I said, keeping me busy was figuring out exercises to do during COVID every single day and posting them on social media. But, my thing really, I was supposed to go to Olympic Games, do a little work there. I was going to give speeches. I just had a lot going on, and all of a sudden it's just stopped. So I'm actually starting to do speeches on Zoom, which is, I'm just going to start. I actually start up next week, which I'm really excited about.
How can people find that?
Companies come and go to my website, and then they write an email and to my agent and ask if I'll give a Zoom speech and stuff. And I'd actually done some just with like different swim teams during COVID. I just spoke to the Virginia Tech lacrosse team.
Awesome.
Just fun. And I kind of like it. It's you're at home, you can wear sweats on the bottom and look nice on top, and just be kind of casual and still be at home, which is, kind of nice too. I used to travel a lot. So doing lots of Zoom speeches, and I'm also thinking about possibly getting into a little bit of modeling. That's kind of, I'm on the fence on that. We'll see.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you're absolutely,
we'll see.
You're beautiful. You're stunning. You should. Yeah.
Okay.
I know you really should.
Yeah,
So,
we'll
and
see
what is your Instagram?
My Instagram, I don't know if it's Swim Dara or Dara Torres. I think it's Swim Dara. I know my Twitter's Swim Dara or Dara Torres. It's one of the two. But
is that where people can follow you on Instagram, Twitter?
Yeah, that'd be great. And awesome. I do a lot of posting of workout stuff, and I try not to do anything that I'm a spokesperson for. I try not to post too much because people are like, whatever, So I try to stick to like family and workout stuff on my Instagram. So.
That's awesome. It's really great speaking with you today. You are truly inspiring, beautiful, definitely humbling. And I mean, I really hope that you can continue to get your message out, especially to women, because it's like we're so negative about ourselves and the negative self-talk, and, that we can't do something, or we have these stigmas that, that the world has set for us, right?
Yeah.
These stigmas that you can't do something because of X, you can't do something because of Y or Z. Like you can, if you get your mind, your heart, and your soul set on something, you are a true example of what that is and what that looks like and how to achieve that. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming on to the podcast, to the Reborn podcast. You have such a beautiful reborn story of coming back and basically taking it all home. So it's amazing.
Thank you. It was so nice to meet you. It was
yes.
fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
So that was a great talk.
She's cool.
She was cool.
She's an awesome
Definitely,
story.
she is the definition of a badass.
Yeah. I love badass ladies.
Yeah.
Who run the world.
Yeah, it gives me, it was even motivating for me because, I'm in my mid-30s. And, I mean, I've had the talk, like, to myself, like, when does my fitness career end? Because, and like she said, there's always somebody. I feel like entering into the fitness realm, especially I did modeling early on, there's always an expiration.
Yeah, I feel like society values younger, but like
they do.
Why?
But she is.
It's unnecessary.
Right. Yeah, I think that it's and I've asked myself a lot of times, like, when am I going to retire from my fitness career?
When it doesn't make you happy anymore. I feel like that's like
when
a
it
good
doesn't
time.
make me happy. That's the only time that I think that you should hang something up, when it doesn't fulfill you the way that it used to.
Exactly. I don't think there should be a timeline on, I'm getting older. People aren't going to
right, or just quitting
XYZ
because
reason. I'm too old.
Yeah,
That's
because
bullshit.
like as like whenever I was younger in my early 20s, and I really chased after being like a fitness model and stuff, and I I like as I truly started kind of honing in on my true identity, which wasn't bubbly and cute. It was more gritty and just like fierce. Like my like the modeling that I continued to do and like the representation of like who I am and like the companies that represented me, it became more true. And it was I don't know, like I just felt like I was able to be
You were finding
unapologetically me.
Yeah, you were finding yourself.
I was finding myself.
And I think that's...
And it was true to who I was.
It happens with age. I mean, like, I look at myself when I was 15, I'm like, dear God, who was that girl? And, being 23 now.
Describe the 15-year-old Lena.
Oh, God, she was a fucking mess.
But we all were, though, at 15.
Yeah,
it was all awkward.
I was like, I'm going to be rebellious. Like, I hate my
Were
parents.
you a rebellious child?
I really thought I was. And I thought my
looking back,
big badass moment was me sneaking out one night to go hang out with friends by the pond. But I was overall...
And you were like, I'm not coming home.
Yeah, I'm like, you can't hold me down. I'm in high school. I have a license or a permit, But... with age, you get wisdom, you get experience, and your values change.
Right.
And you seem to value yourself more and who you are as a person.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that's not valued enough.
And you can let go of... Because I feel like we have just so much pressure.
Women have so much pressure.
Yeah. It's a lot of like pressure of like, like who we're supposed to be or who like the world thinks that we should be or what we can or cannot do.
There's always judgment.
And you're right. Like whenever we get older... Like, we can be more independently, like, who we were meant to be all along.
I agree.
And more fierce.
I mean, I hope, I've had good role models in my life. And, like, not to blow smoke up your ass, but having you in my life has been pretty inspiring here and there.
Don't say that.
But I just, as I grow older and, like,
I'm glad that I was intimidating, though, in the beginning.
Yeah, you were very scary. I was like, okay, don't fuck this up. It's like if you spill one fucking shot of espresso, it's over. Yeah. Just pack your bags. No, I do look up to you, and I think it is cool having strong, powerful women in your life. And my mom was like a great person in my life, and she never relied on anyone. Yeah. Your mom, because she was a young mom. Yeah, she was a teen mom, and she did what she had to. She had to take care of her family. She hustled. Yep. And she always told me, be your own person. Yep. Hustle in life. Do what you want to do. Never rely on anyone. And don't take shit from no one. Period. Period. Yeah. So it's good. I think growing older, society doesn't value it, but personally, you value yourself more as a woman, especially being a woman in such a judgmental world where everything you do is wrong.
I just think like, as I've gotten older, it's like, I feel like you only have so many fucks to give in life. And as I've gotten older, it's like, I don't really care as much. Like I used to care about what.
It's hard not to.
Right. It is. We, like going back to what we were saying earlier, it's just, it's we have so much pressure. As females, too much. Yeah, too much. But it's like, I don't know if it's with age or if it's with wisdom or if it has to do with just the mindset, but you just get to a point in your life where you just don't really care anymore.
I think that's the best part of your life. It's when you don't care anymore.
Yeah, and I the fact that you said that I have influenced your life, like I hope and I've said this to every single person that comes into American Brew and joins our team, that like I hope to some degree that myself and the leadership that we put in place, that we can influence the life that they have moving forward, like whatever their goals are in life or whoever they are becoming in the process of becoming. Like I really hope that that we can influence their life, and it all starts with like just strong leadership, and having that balance of.
I agree. I mean, in the short time that I've been here, I've actually gotten my shit together as an adult. I've tried to be a better person overall. I'm like, I should not eat flaming hot Cheetos 3 times a day.
And you're drinking protein powder.
Yeah, and I'm drinking protein powder. Don't forget that.
And working out.
Yeah, and working out. No, I want an overall better for myself.
That's good.
And my coworkers they hold me accountable to that too. Yeah. And they check up on me, and you check up on me, which is always appreciated.
Yeah.
It's always good to have good, strong female role models.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So you got a few questions from
All right.
some people out there that want to know.
And I don't know what these questions are, so.
No, you don't. Okay. All right. So first question. It appears like you put so much into your 24 hours. However, we catch just a couple snapshots. Do you have help? How can you balance staying so busy?
That's a good one.
Soak it in.
I do have a nanny that helps me. Like, it's weird going back to the pressure of being a female, because my mindset is that I want to do it all on my own. Like, it's really hard for me to have a nanny come into my house and
Yeah,
like
you're
help me with my
independent. You're
kids
very
and like
independent.
yes. Same, like I've had the same lady help clean my house. Like, that's probably the one thing that I'm really, really bad at is cleaning my house, laundry, for sure laundry. Like, I'm
hate
horrible at
laundry.
laundry. In fact, like the
Unnecessary.
lady that cleans my house, she's been cleaning my house or helping me ever before Otto was born.
Wow.
And you know it's bad when she does your laundry, she folds it perfectly and puts it in a basket. And then it's the night before she's coming again, and I still have all of those clothes folded in a
Oh my
basket, and I have
God.
yet to put them up. That's all I have to do is like freaking put them up in the drawer or hang them up. That's when you know that it's bad.
It's not that bad. It
It
could
is,
be
but-
worse. It
Yeah,
could be
so I
worse.
have learned to let go of the things and there's nothing wrong with saying that you need help. And so I have someone, I have a nanny that comes, I mean, it's probably like less than 20 hours a week that she comes to basically give me a break. Like I'm, and I have my littlest one is actually here right now at American Brew, and my staff here is great. They just load him up on sugar, give him whipped cream. I'm pretty sure he's eating a cookie down there, maybe having a root beer.
He's living his best life.
So, a lot of what I'm able to do, I'm able to bring my kids right along with me. And I know that on social media, you probably can't see that, but I have learned that I can't be afraid to ask for help. I have to be humble saying that, like, I can't do it all on my own. I have an incredible staff here at American Brew that I can be like, hey guys, I'm homeschooling my kids right now. This is a schedule that I'm having to figure out. I have my management in place. I have people like Lena in place to be like, okay, I got you. You go do the kid stuff. You do the mom stuff. You do the admin stuff that, you can do it at home. You can do it on your computer. You can help grow the companies in ways that, maybe they can't see from the back end. And like, it's all about time management. I think that if you take out all of the gray, all of the bullshit in your life that where you're, you're on your phone, like maybe scrolling through social media. Like I don't do that. Like I try to take, if I'm on social media, it's for a purpose, and it's because I am working or I'm posting because there's something going on in my life. If I'm working out, I'm getting up at 5 a.m. and I'm waiting for the crack of the sunrise to get my training in that day, because I know if I don't get it in right then, like that I won't be able to get it in for the rest of the day. It's all about, I think, time management. And I mean, I have days too, like I have days that I feel absolutely fucking defeated. Like 100%. Like it happens more times. Like it happens all the time. Like I never want to portray the fact that that I have my shit together or that I'm perfect, because I'm not. I have a really strong team, an AHCO team, an American Brew team. Everything that I'm doing is solid. But there are times where I have to step in and I have to work the kitchen, or I have to come in and I have to do the front of the house. Like it's just that balance, and there's no set equation for that. And I can't tell you what the balance looks like, but just know that I don't know. It's like I don't have a social life. In fact, I was just talking to you about how I was going to go to my first Halloween party this year and coming up with a Halloween costume. And
Send
so
your
it's like
suggestions. for
yeah,
Ashley.
like looking for suggestions, because like I really don't, like my social life is like with my work. That is my life, period. And my kids.
Well, it shows. It shows with your staff.
Yeah, but I
We
love
know.
it. Like it's fun.
I like having an active owner.
Yeah.
I've been in positions where I've never seen the owner's face, and it's
Yeah.
nice having someone there.
Yeah, it's good. I have a really good team though, and I think that it's important to surround yourself with people who support you.
Yeah. So we have another question. So this listener is a single mom with 3 kids, and she's struggling. Sometimes she feels guilty. She's trying to stay positive, and she wanted to know, how do you manage with staying sane and positive when you're working towards something better, but it was nowhere in sight yet?
So, single mom, 3 kids,
Yep.
struggling. And like she can't see the
She's having a hard time seeing that end goal, and she wanted to know, what got you through your struggles and what helped you to get to that end goal or see the light at the end of the tunnel. What motivated you?
well, my motivation from the beginning was like it was 100% for my boys. It's always has been for my boys. Period. And I think that, man, we're just like so hard on ourselves. We're so critical, and it kind of comes back to like, I think that it's important to do like a check-in of how we compare ourselves on social media.
I think social media is
others.
like, it's awesome. I
But
love
there's
social media.
also-
It's detrimental sometimes. Even I'm on there and I'm like,
I could do more with my life.
I'm supposedly in the prime of my life, and I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, I'm just eating chips at home, and I could be at the or just like
It is tough.
Everyone likes making their life look perfect.
Yeah,
I think that's
because
hard.
you don't post the lows. You don't talk
No.
about the hardships that you go
I'm not
through.
gonna see some girl with a bloated stomach, like her hair in a bun and sweatpants. No.
No.
But if you do that, hell yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Keep on posting.
Yeah, it's tough. I think that you need to figure out where that thought is coming from. There is like I just want to be real really quick that like I have I'm technically a single mom right now. I have given my kids more chicken nuggets. We don't really do fast food. I've never been like a fast food person just because I don't want to go out and get fast food, honestly. But I have given my boys more chicken nuggets than like the past probably 4 months than they have had in like 2 years.
And no shame in that.
No shame in that. I think that like, you feel like that you're failing, but like, why do you feel like that you're failing? You feel like you're failing because other people you think are doing it better than you. It's definitely not the case. You just have like this mindset of that you think that you can do better or that you should be better. But like, to whose standards? Like, you need to create your own standards and stop being so hard on yourself. I mean, there is a silver lining to everything. No matter how difficult, how heartbreaking, how hard, or how challenging the situation that you might be finding yourself in, there is light. And I think that you have to hold on to that light and just surround yourself with that light and not focus so much on the negativity and to stay away from the social media and the pressure.
I agree. All right, we got another one. As a successful entrepreneur, what advice or suggestions would you give yourself in your early entrepreneur days? I'm hitting you with the hard ones today.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. I like that question a lot.
I never had a mentor with being an entrepreneur. And I wish that if I could like speak to myself 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when I started doing like entrepreneur type stuff, I wish I would have found somebody or latched onto somebody who had made the mistakes that I was about to make and to tell me to go like a different direction. But I also believe that like that's part of the learning process though.
You have to fail to learn.
You have to fail. And we've talked about this before in the Reborn podcast, but like that the times that you fail are truly the times that you learn. So, but I wish that I would have had somebody to lean on for advice, to even like spitball ideas to, and to tell me like, that's horrible, or like, yes, you should do that, or, a lot of it's kind of been in my own mind of like whether or not I should do that. And I don't know exactly what it is that makes me want to execute something or causes me to I don't know, delay or like go a different direction. But I would just say find a mentor. I think is important, but be fearless. And I think that as long as you're pursuing something that like sets your soul on fire, that's really all that matters.
You have that passion in whatever you do.
If you have that passion, because everything that I have done from the beginning, it's never been about a dollar sign. It wasn't because I thought it could like make me money. It was truly because I was passionate about it, or, you know, I still don't know as much as I wish I knew about coffee, or whiskey, but I was just so intrigued by the idea of having a coffee whiskey bar. I was
That came from a friend in Colorado, right? The idea for American Brew, right?
Yeah, it did. I there was a friend in Colorado that had a coffee whiskey bar, literally just like a couple whiskeys, black coffee, nothing else, strict coffee whiskey. And that's where I was just like, wow, that's like super cool. And I had never heard anything like that before.
Yeah,
and
we don't have that in VB.
We don't have that. This is the only coffee whiskey bar. Well, no, I think there's like a couple other ones that have opened up.
Irrelevant. They're not American.
Don't worry about it. We're not shouting you out right now.
You thought.
But even like even in the fitness, like I wanted to. It all started with I was just passionate about fitness. I wanted to truly, genuinely help people. Fitness, and I was just trying to figure out a way to expand that and the passion.
That's awesome. I think.
So I don't know if I answered the question.
Yeah, you have to find what you love and then get paid for it.
Yeah. What do you want to do?
I want to be a
and let's say 5 years.
Oh, in the next 5 years.
Yeah,
well,
5 years. Because your degree is in speech therapy.
Yeah, speech pathology, speech
pathology,
speech language pathology.
Okay, speech language pathology.
So,
okay. Do I have a speech impediment?
No, you have a dialect. Okay, so
I do. What is my dialect?
Midwestern, for sure. I'm not even kidding. I knew that when I met you.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
How
can you diagnose me?
Okay.
Diagnose me.
There's nothing wrong with you. First, it's a big thing in the community. Is it a difference or is it a disorder? So, like, you know.
Do I have a disorder?
No, you do not. You know, maybe a few more whiskey shots and you might. Dysarthria, that's slurring of words that happens when you're drunk because it's a poor connection from your brain to your mouth. Fun fact of the day. Oh my God, I hope I got that right. If not, that is shameful. But I've always wanted to help people. You know, my passion lies in talking to others, helping others. And I kind of found like my niche in the world with special needs adults and children. I like to talk, if anyone could tell from this podcast. I like to talk a lot. And I think one of the best things about being a human is the gift of communication. And I think that's a big part of the human experience is being able to talk and have your thoughts and feelings put out into the universe. And, you know, I'm very lucky where I don't have a disability or a disorder that prevents me from doing that. And I want to give that gift to someone, you know, even if it means like just having a child or an adult, you know, learn to ask for something that they need constantly. That small difference makes a huge impact on their day. You know, being able to get their wants and needs heard by any means necessary. So I've always been very passionate about the special needs community and adults and children with disabilities. And I just want to help people and in any small way possible. And so my 5-year plan is, you know, go to grad school, get my degree, and then just either work with children.
Do you have to go to grad school?
Yeah, it's 2 years grad school, and then you have like...
you want to work with children, though?
Yeah. Or it's children or it's going to be people with brain injuries. That's really what I'm passionate about. So
my mom was a special needs teacher.
Really?
In fact, like we could never ride, like she would never let us ride a 4-wheeler, like a quad.
Yeah.
We could never ride in the back of the pickup truck because I think that, you know, and she quit, like after she had my brother and I, she stopped teaching or helping special needs.
Yeah.
But I think because of that and her experience and like what she had seen. She just said that she had too many injuries of kids riding in the
Yeah.
back of a pickup truck and falling out, or
It's
in
terrible.
a
It's
four-wheeler.
like the smallest things.
I know.
And it's terrible.
It's
It's
like-
heartbreaking. But
It
like the
is.
good
but
news
you
is,
can't like.
yeah, you can't live life like that and be
can't, right.
scared. But also, it's important, like what your mom did. That's an incredible thing.
Yeah.
And those teachers and those,
she was a teacher
therapists,
for
they
a
need to be
while.
celebrated
Yeah.
because you are heroes and
Do
you do make
you
a
want to
difference.
work at a school or what?
I don't know. I haven't made that decision yet.
Mm-hmm.
I've only had experience in private therapy centers and hospitals, but I do love the kiddos.
Yeah.
They say some funny shit,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
So I do love kids, but we'll see.
Do you think because Otto's missing a tooth, do you think that he has? So Otto lost his tooth when he was. It had to have been right after he got his first tooth. He was running through the house and his tooth fell out.
my
And he fell on his
God.
face.
Oh no.
His tooth just like fell out. And like ever since my mom's been really concerned, and now he's going into kindergarten, she's like, you should really have him see like a speech pathologist because I think that he has like a speech impediment.
It's
I'm like-
always
But he's just in kindergarten.
he's in kindergarten
and his tooth is
sometimes
going to grow in. eventually.
yeah, it was
But
a
it does-
baby tooth.
Yeah.
So it'll come back, but there are some sounds that you rely on your front teeth or your bottom
There.
teeth.
But he has
But
one, he's
he's-
only missing one. He has like half.
He's fine. He's fine. He'll, that tooth will come in and he'll be sharp as a tack.
Say sharp as a tack.
Yeah, is that what? No, I don't think that's
Sharp as a tack.
sharp as a tack.
All right, moving right along.
What are the best snacks to eat on the days that you're training? I'm a big snack girl.
Oh, dude, my
Let's hear
favorite
it.
snack.
Please tell me it's something fatty like cinnamon rolls. You're like,
No, I love cinnamon rolls, but I actually I eat this almost every day. Guacamole and chips.
oh my God. All right, no hate,
is my
because they're
go-to.
delicious.
Yeah, I make my own. I believe, and Ray's my back of the house manager. We're gonna have like a guacamole competition because
Oh, you think you got better?
yes,
Have you
I
tried
was
hers?
telling her, yeah, mine's better than hers.
Oh, so you're not threatened at all?
Huh?
You're ready to take her down?
Yeah, mine is garlic, sea salt.
Write this down,
onions,
everyone.
Red tomatoes, obviously, and avocado, and that's it.
Do you like chunky or smooth?
I like chunky.
A little chunky?
I like chunky. Dude, with blue corn chips or just sometimes
Money.
barbecue chips. Oh, it is my
Money.
favorite. That is like my go-to. I mean, it's basically like a meal, and I'll do probably like 2 whole avocados. I'll like eat it all.
That's a lot of
What's
avocado,
yours?
girl. Oh, God. This is going to be horrible. If you're healthy, don't listen to this. It's like my ultimate goldfish.
Goldfish?
I love goldfish.
I was expecting something like extravagant,
Oh,
like
well, it's like
and you
gold.
you said goldfish.
It's the
I
snack
was not
that
expecting
smiles
goldfish.
back,
Goldfish.
girl.
Goldfish.
Well, that or
You're like, don't listen to this. This is so bad,
Yeah, I know. I'm
goldfish.
like that or like jalapeno Cheetos. Oh my God. You ever had a jalapeno?
No, I don't
Cheeto?
do spicy stuff.
What?
I'm allergic to spicy stuff.
You can't be allergic.
I
to
am because I ate my hamster food when I was little.
You ate hamster food. Is
I
that your
did.
new snack? Tell
No, I
everyone.
did when I was little. I used to eat my hamster food and then I had an allergic reaction.
Oh my
To like one of the
God.
peppers.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Dramatic.
I love spicy.
No, I don't do any of the spicy anything.
Well, you could always
Not
go
even the buff chick that we have here on the menu.
Really? The buff chick's so good.
It's so spicy, I can't.
If you're
like
an
I
American
turn
Brew
like
customer,
super hot.
get the
and, like
buff
I get
chick.
hives.
Do you sweat?
I do. It's so
Do you sweat?
bad. I don't do anything spicy.
Sweat
Nothing.
out the sins.
Nothing.
That's what
sweat out the sin.
That's what spicy food does. You sweat out the sins.
No. No.
That's not it? Oh.
No. So at the end of every segment, we like to give the listeners homework. And this week, your homework it's a really tough one, you guys. It is to create the best guacamole that you can.
Yes. Yes.
I want the recipe. And I guarantee you, it is not as good as mine. I'm going to tell you what my
Cocky.
recipe is.
Cocky.
I am. I'm confident. I know.
Yes.
This is literally the best. So,
Well, why
avocado.
haven't I
It has to be a
gotten it?
perfect avocado, though. 2 avocados.
That's
I don't
really
measure
hard.
anything. Yeah, it's got to be perfect. Not like too ripe. Like, it just perfect. Avocado. red onions or white. It's kind of a preference, whichever you like. Tomatoes, garlic powder, and sea salt. And that's it.
Gotta have garlic.
Yes.
Runs
It
in
is
my veins.
so good. And then if you have a lime, a little bit of lime juice. So I want to know what your favorite guacamole recipe is. Shoot us a DM. I want to know what it is. But like, I think that, and another homework assignment for you is that I want to know, have you had moments where you feel like that you can't achieve something because in your mind you think that you're too old, or maybe you think that you're too young, that you can't start that career or the path that you're wanting to take, the longevity of what you're wanting to do long term because you don't feel like that you have enough experience. Everything starts with the mind. I think that if you can learn to beat the mind, to condition the mind, that is first and foremost the most important thing that you can achieve. I think secondary comes training the body. And then also having the best guacamole recipe is good. My name is Ashley Horner. We are here today with Lena, my co-host. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today on the Reborn podcast. Make sure that you subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Please give us some feedback, download, leave us the review, and do your homework. And we will catch you on the next Reborn podcast. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.